Alrighty, so in this video, I'm going to be going over every single playoff matchup and giving you my predictions for the first round of the 2022 NHL playoffs. Later today or tomorrow, I will be giving you guys my annual video where I review every single team and every single individual player that played the NHL's season review, season wrap-up. We'll be looking at every single player's stats, what they did, when they did it, and why they did it, and we'll go from there. I tried my best for this video to get day-to-day lineups for the playoffs, but unfortunately I couldn't do that because a lot of the websites that usually provide that information did not have their things updated. For example, the one website I usually use didn't even have Nathan MacKinnon on the Colorado Avalanche roster. So, and in case you didn't know this, Nathan MacKinnon is not injured. This is in February. And this is March. 1 game absence. And he returned to the last game of the season. So, McKinnon's not injured. So I don't know why he's not on their roster, but I don't want to deal with it. So we're just going to use HockeyDB. We're going to look at the players and their stats for the season, and we're going to go from there. I'm not going to have lineup matchups like I really wanted to, but it's fine. We're going to make do with what we have. So the first round, Colorado versus Nashville. The one thing I like about this playoffs going into it is there's not a single series you're like, okay, yeah, they got this, or they're gonna get murdered, or no, they're gonna dominate. There's just none of those. This is seriously gonna be one of the tightest playoffs I think we're ever gonna see. With that being said, I do believe the Colorado Avalanche will beat the Nashville Predators. If you look at the Colorado Avalanche, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 20-goal scorers on their team. Nashville impressively had 5, but my God. Now, here is the only way I think Nashville could beat the Avalanche. They need to get into a literal shootout with them and try to outscore them. Because if the Nashville Predators have Roman Josi sacrifice everything he provides on offense in an effort to shut down the MacKinnon line, you're losing your best scorer. And you're kind of just relying on your forwards at that point. And Duchesne and Forsberg had phenomenal seasons. But you're basically putting them in a situation now where they are the only ones that can score. Roman Josi, the guy, the breakout master, the zone entry master, is going to be strictly assigned to shutting them down. Now, granted, I know you have Mattias Ekholm to do that too, but who are you going to trust more defending Nathan MacKinnon, Mattias Ekholm or Roman Josi? I'm sorry. I know Roman Josi might be seen as an offensive defenseman, but he might be the only person on the Predators that could keep up speed-wise with MacKinnon when he's skating with the puck. So I just think I'd rely on Josi a little bit more. I just think the Avalanche are too damn deep. I just think they're too deep. Because even if you shut down that first line, you got to get past the Kadri line. And Kadri had 87 points this year, and he did not get a whole lot of ice time with Nathan MacKinnon. He kind of carried his own line. He did a damn good job doing so. And he's a feisty little fucker. Like, I don't know. And he's still got Cale Makar back there. Like, it's going to be a tough series for the Nashville Predators to win. I could see situations where they might if maybe the Avalanche fall asleep, but I don't know. The Avalanche were pretty pissed last year. They're definitely playing to win this year a little bit, maybe more so than last year. So if I have to give my predictions on the first round, I do believe the Colorado Avalanche beat the Nashville Predators. I don't know why it's not letting me click number of games, but I guess I have to do every series. I do believe the Colorado Avalanche will beat the Nashville Predators, and I think it'll be in 5 or 6 games, in my opinion. Now, granted, could Nashville make it an interesting series? Of course they could. If UC Saros plays out of his mind and single-handedly could shut down the Colorado Avalanche offense, you never know what could happen. Great goaltending leads to great offense, because when they're stopping the puck, it's pretty easy to break it out and shift momentum. That's at least my opinion. The Minnesota Wild versus the St. Louis Blues. In my opinion, this is going to be the hardest series to pick a winner in the entire thing. The entire bracket, in my opinion. So, the reason I say this. Hands down, up and down the lineup, the St. Louis Blues have the better team. What the St. Louis Blues do not have is an X factor even close to the level of Kirill Kaprizov. Kirill Kaprizov turned Ryan Hartman into a 34-goal scorer and pushed Zuccarello back to point-a-game players. I think he's never done in his career, I don't think. At least he didn't do it with the damn Rangers. Yeah. So, yeah. Kirill Kaprizov is pretty damn good. And if you can't shut him down, I don't see a way St. Louis wins this series. I just don't. Especially with the way Cam Talbot's been playing. And I hate to say it, even if you get past Cam Talbot and he doesn't play well, Marc-Andre Fleury, the guy's been 4 or 5 Stanley Cups. He's been to 5 Cups in his career. In case you get past Talbot, that's who's waiting after him. Just sitting there. Just waiting. Just waiting. And we've seen Fleury do some fucked up shit before. Just take over entire series. So, with that being said, if the St. Louis Blues do shut down Kirill Kaprizov, then it's going to be a tough go of it for the Minnesota Wild. The St. Louis Blues had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20 goal scorers. Oh, and a defenseman that scored 16 goals. That's pretty damn scary, if you ask me. That is pretty damn scary. 4 players who are over a point a game. Not to mention Torrey Krug had 43 points in 64 games as a defenseman. Oh, and their goaltending situation, if you get past the red-hot Villiuso, you got Jordan Binnington, who has showed he does not F around in the playoffs. So, yeah. This is a tough series to pick. Super tough series to pick. And again, I'm going to reiterate, the way I see this series is the St. Louis Blues are the much deeper team. They just don't have the X factor, like Kirill Kaprizov. They've got really good players who could be X factors, but none of them even close to what Kirill Kaprizov could do. You got to imagine the matchup is going to be the Kaprizov line versus Ryan O'Reilly and his line. You have to just imagine that is going to be how the Blues want to line this one up. I don't see a world where that is not the case. If they do, and Ryan O'Reilly is successful, which I anticipate him being somewhat successful, it's seriously, it's going to be tough sledding for the Minnesota Wild. With all that being said, man, and I still don't know, because I told myself what I was going to pick, and I'm not sure still what the hell I'm going to pick. I'm going to go with the Blues, okay? I'm going to go with the Blues only because I just think they're a deeper team. However, I do believe Kirill Kaprizov has the ability to take over the series, and I do believe it'll go the distance. I think this series will go 7 games, and if it doesn't, well, the NHL fans got cheated out of that one. The Calgary Flames versus Dallas Stars. This might be, of all the difficult matchups, which all of them are, this actually might be the one easy matchup we have. I do believe the Calgary Flames will be able to beat the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars kind of stumbled into the playoffs, relying heavily on their younger guys throughout the entirety of the season. Ben and Sagan are no longer really the faces of this team. Maybe they are faces on paper, on just a fan perspective. But the real heart and soul of this team is the young guys, Hintz, Robertson, fucking 37-year-old Joe Pavelski putting up 81 points, 27 goals. Like, the young guys have really taken over. It's Joe Pavelski in terms of veteran leadership. I think it's Pavelski's team, but in terms of coming up, Robertson and Hintz own this team. The only question is who the hell is going to play goalie. I guess it's going to be Ottinger, but Holtby hasn't been playing bad. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to guess it's Ottinger's net to lose. I think that makes the most sense, considering he's played 48 games. But Braden Holtby's been there before. He's won a Stanley Cup before, so really... Actually, no. Did Holtby win a cup with the... No, he didn't. Never mind. He was off the... Was he off the Capitals at that point? I'm sorry. It was the... No, he was there when they won the cup. Okay, never mind. Disregard. But still, they do have a pretty damn good goaltender, and Braden Holtby sitting behind Jake Onger. I just don't know. I mean, here's the one thing that the Stars do have going for them. I totally left that Miro Heiskanen talking about young guys. That's a sin right there. It's shown in playoffs past that youth can kill in the playoffs, and if these young guys really get... Holy shit, hold on. Sagan, Klingberg, and Ben, look at those dashes, and Radulov, what the fuck? Anyway, sorry, that's bad. Youth can kill in the playoffs. I just don't see a world where the Dallas Stars can beat the Calgary Flames. The Calgary Flames, they're too damn deep. Their top players outperform the Stars' top players. Their depth players outperform the depth players. The defense outperform the Stars. Like, The goaltending alone, yeah, the goaltending too. Jacob Markstrom having 9 shutouts this year. I don't see a world where the Calgary Flames lose, and I think the Calgary Flames will beat the Dallas Stars in 5 games. My opinion. That's just how I would see it going down. I just don't think the Dallas Stars are going to be able to keep up with the Calgary Flames. With the only way I think the Dallas Stars could beat the Calgary Flames is if the young guys continue to play well in terms of Robertson, Heiskanen, and Hintz. And if they somehow find a way to take over the series. If Robertson, Hintz, and Heiskanen can control the puck and keep it away from Gaudreau, Kachuk, and Lindholm, then maybe the Stars have a chance. But I just think the Calgary Flames are the better team here. The Edmonton Oilers versus the LA Kings. A pretty big note here is that the LA Kings will be missing their best defenseman, Drew Doughty, for this series. I definitely think that tilts in the favor of the Edmonton Oilers, as if it wasn't already. The one thing about the Oilers is they are definitely a two-headed monster, and after that, they are pretty beatable. If you could shut down McDavid and Cjethsyt lines, I said lines plural because I'd imagine they'd be playing split up, then LA has a chance because I think LA wins the depth war. And I definitely think LA wins the goaltending matchup with Jonathan Quick. I know Jonathan Quick is like 115 years old, but he's still Jonathan Quick. He's won 2 Stanley Cups. He's done it in the playoffs before. Why can't he do it again? You never know with this stuff. I think they win the depth battle. They're a younger team. They're going to be a little bit hungrier. And we just found out it's Dustin Brown's last season, so he might just do anything to freaking win, including taking cheap shots at top players as he's done before. I like Dustin Brown. I'm not taking shots at him, but I'm just saying he's done it before. I think the Kings are a bit more depthy and a little bit more gritty down low. I think they have a style that could be a little bit more competitive in the playoffs. And honestly, you got to imagine Philip Deneau he's going to be, and Anze Kopitar. Those are your 2 centers that can be matched up against Cjethsyt and McDavid. And McDavid and Cjethsyt are 2 of the best offensive players in the world, but Deneau and Kopitar are going to make their lives pretty damn hard. So if Deneau and Kopitar are somehow successful at shutting down both McDavid and Cjethsyt, and it becomes strictly a depth matchup, I think the LA Kings could win. However, I don't foresee that happening where McDavid and Cjethsyt both fluster and get shut down. I can see one of them, but both of them is going to be kind of tough. I do believe the Edmonton Oilers will pull out of the series. I think it's going to be a tight one, though. I'd imagine this series is going to go 6 or 7 games. I bet I could do the game. What did I say? I said Avalanche in 6, Calgary in 5, St. Louis in 7, and I'm going to say Edmonton in 6. I know LA's young and up and coming, but come on. A lot of shit would have to happen, especially with Drew Doughty out. A lot of shit would have to happen for the LA Kings to beat the Edmonton Oilers, and I just think McDavid and Cjethsyt, especially McDavid, is fed up with losing. I think he's going to bark off and do some serious crazy shit. Speaking of bark off, how's that transition? The Florida Panthers versus the Washington Capitals. The Washington Capitals are coming to the playoffs hot, but so are the Florida Panthers. I think they only lost 2 of their last 20 games or some crazy shit like that. Yeah, the Florida Panthers are pretty decent. 115 points for Jonathan Huberdeau. 88 points for Barkov. Oh, in 67 games. That's about a 102-point pace, I believe. Oh, and Sam Reinhart, decent season 2. Oh, right. Anthony Duclair. Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, people keep forgetting about this guy. The 4th of their 30 goal scorers. Pretty damn impressive if you ask me. Oh, and if you shut them down, you kind of got Carter Verhaeghe and Sam Bennett sitting there as 20 goal scorers. Sam Bennett, almost the 5th 30 goal scorer on the Florida Panthers. Not to mention their goaltending's been pretty damn good, because if you get past Spencer Knight, who I think might get the nod over Bobrovsky. I know Bobrovsky's been playing really well, but I just wonder if they start Knight over Bobrovsky. You got Sergei Bobrovsky sitting right behind him. Sergei Bobrovsky, the goaltender that didn't single-handedly, but almost single-handedly, swept the Tampa Bay Lightning before they went back-to-back. Pretty damn impressive if you ask me. Oh, and yeah. It's the fucking Florida Panthers. They've only lost 2 of the last 20, or some crazy shit like that. And Claude Giroux. Right, you get past the Barkov and Huberdeau and Reinhart and Duclair and Verhaeghe and Bennett, all those guys, you still got Claude Giroux. It's going to be a pretty damn good team and a tough team to beat. The Washington Capitals better hope and pray to God that Alexander Ovechkin is healthy, fully, for these playoffs, because they're going to need him. I'm not sure the situation on Nick Backstrom. I don't know if and when he'll be back. Let's see. How long is Nicholas Backstrom out for? I don't, because he wasn't back for the last game of the season. I don't know. I clearly can't get a fucking answer on this shit. Sitting out season finale, so maybe he should be back for the playoffs, right? Hopefully healthy. You never root for someone to be injured. I think it's Florida's series to lose. I definitely think it's Florida's series to lose. They have them in everywhere. But you never know. You never know. It was Tampa's series to lose against Columbus, and if Washington is playing spoiler the same way Columbus played spoiler against the Lightning, would you really be that surprised if Washington somehow beat out the Florida Panthers? Would you? I'm going to go with the over here, and I'm going to pick the Florida Panthers, but I don't think the Capitals are going to make it easy on them. If we were predicting this series about a month ago, before the Capitals heated up towards the end of the season and almost caught the Pittsburgh Penguins, I would have told you Florida's going to, probably sweep them. But because the Capitals picked it up towards the end of the season and kind of made it interesting, I think it's going to be a tight one. I think Florida takes it in 6 or 7. I do not think the Capitals take it easy on them. The Tampa Bay Lightning versus Toronto Maple Leafs. Man, if there's a team that ever has pressure on them to advance, it's Toronto Maple Leafs. How many years has it been since the Toronto Maple Leafs made it to the second round of the playoffs? I'm just kidding. We won't look. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time. Led Zeppelin will tell you it's been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely time. They wrote a whole song about it. It's been so long since fucking Toronto Maple Leafs made it to the second round. The Toronto Maple Leafs had the only 60-goal scorer in the NHL. In fact, the only 60-goal scorer since Steven Stamkos did it way back when in 2010, 2011, I believe it was. Maybe 2011. I don't know. It's been a long time since there was a 60-goal scorer. And Austin Matthews did it. And if you get past Austin Matthews, you got Mitch Marner, you got Willie Nylander, you got John Tavares, you got Morgan Riley, you got this, that, and the other thing. You got your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. The Tampa Bay Lightning are a pretty deep team. You know who else is a deep team? The fucking Tampa Bay Lightning. They're pretty damn good. They're looking to win their 3rd Stanley Cup in a row. Last time that happened, the New York Islanders were relevant. It's been a while. It's been a long-ass time. I don't know. This is a tough series for me to predict. If Jack Campbell pops off, it's going to be scary hour for the Lightning because I really think the Toronto Maple Leafs want to win. However, if Jack Campbell does not pop off, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to swarm, devour, and eat the Toronto Maple Leafs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they might even have them for dessert, too. I think it's a tough series to predict because I don't think it's either team's series to lose. I think it's a pretty damn good matchup. I think it's 2 offensive juggernauts going at it head-to-head. I think... see, this is a tough part because I think each side has just as many X factors as the other. On one side, you got Stamkos, Hedman, Kucherov. Where's Braden Point? Braden Point, who's a monster in the friggin' playoffs. You got Andrei Vasilevsky. You got all that shit going on one side. And on the other side, you got Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, right? Like, this is a tough series. This is a great head-to-head series. It really is. And I think if any team was going to give the Tampa Bay Lightning a run for their money, I think the Toronto Maple Leafs have a chance at doing it. I'm really struggling right now who to pick for this series. I did not want to get my thoughts in order before making this. I wanted to be able to predict this on the spot just to make myself critically think a little bit more. And to tell you the truth, I don't know. I'm going to do... Call me absolutely crazy. Call me crazy. But if Matthews decides he wants to win and Jack Campbell plays good hockey, I think the Toronto Maple Leafs can beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think it'll take 7 games, though. And I think it'll take a lot for it to happen, but I just got a funny feeling too much has been going right in Toronto this year for them to lose. Now, this is a tough one, man. Oh, this is such a tough one. Oh, God, why do you back me into a corner like this? I don't know, actually. I would love to see the Panthers and Lightning face off against each other in the second round of the playoffs. It's a tough one. My brain's telling me one thing, my gut is telling me another. My gut is telling me Toronto, but my brain is telling me the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's a really tough one to pick, you guys. I'm going to go with Toronto because I already put it down. But my brain is telling me the Lightning will win. It's just I got a weird gut feeling Toronto wins. Carolina versus Boston. Normally, if Carolina faced off against anybody, like, yeah, they're probably going to kill them. But the Boston Bruins have had some success against the Carolina Hurricanes for the past few years. Carolina Hurricanes, in my opinion, are the deepest team in the NHL. There's not a single line that goes out there where you're not really holding your breath like, fuck, this is the line we got to face right now. Defensively, offensively, in net, they're just solid all around. The question is Anderson going to be healthy come playoffs? And then the question is going to be, is Antti Raanta going to be healthy come playoffs? And if they're not healthy, is Pyotr Kochetkov? I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his damn name. Is he going to be able to hold the reins? Because here's the thing. If Pyotr, we're going to just go with Pyotr, if he is the goalie, no matter how well he might have played in the regular season, you got to imagine the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be playing hockey to limit shots against. And if they're doing that, they're going to be sitting back on their heels a little bit, not pushing the envelope forward for offense as much. And if they're doing that, the Boston Bruins are probably going to take advantage of that. Now, the Boston Bruins do have the Bergeron and Marchand line that is 100% going to shut down any lines the Hurricanes put out against them. I think the Bergeron-Marchand line is going to be the best line of the series. And then if you get past them, you got to get past the David Pastrnak line. It's a weird matchup for the Hurricanes, and I believe the only way the Hurricanes are going to win this series is if they're not sitting on their heels protecting their young goalie if Pyotr is the one that starts and Anderson's not healthy. I've got a really funny feeling that the Boston Bruins are going to pull out of this series. As much as I believe firmly the Carolina Hurricanes are the 10 times better team on paper up and down the lineup, I've got a really, 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 really funny feeling the Boston Bruins are going to find a way to win this series. And I believe the Boston Bruins are going to win it in 7. It's crazy saying that, but the reason I believe this is because if the Carolina Hurricanes, a younger team, is sitting on their heels, trying to protect their goalie, then Bergeron, Pastrnak, Taylor Hall, Charlie McAvoy, and all those guys are going to take over the series and possibly win it. The one thing the Bruins really don't have is a bona fide starting goaltender. Is it going to be Vladar? Is it going to be, I always forget the one, is it Forsberg or whatever his name is? We don't know. If Freddie Anderson is fully healthy, my vote changes and I'm picking the Carolina Hurricanes. But last I saw Frederik Anderson injury, I believe he's out for a while. Yeah, see, it was a day ago. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, there's no timetable. I don't know. If Anderson, I'm telling you right now, if Anderson is not back, and I think Raanta just got hurt too, like long-term hurt, I don't know. Goaltending is going to become a serious issue because you got to think, like, their priorities, we got to limit shots because this is a young goalie. He's got 3 NHL games under his belt. You're throwing him right into the playoffs. I don't know. I think the Boston Bruins are too veteran-filled of a team to lose this series. I think it's Carolina's series to lose, but if the goaltending thing becomes a problem, I don't know. I got a weird gut feeling that Boston's going to be able to beat Carolina in this series. Rangers versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had tough sledding to finish this season. The Rangers are entering the playoffs with a clean bill of health outside of Sammy Blais. The Pittsburgh Penguins, I believe, clean bill of health. I don't think they have anybody out super long term. It's going to be interesting. I want to sit here and tell you the Rangers are going to dominate the Pittsburgh Penguins, but anything we've learned from the Rangers in their recent playoff history over half a decade ago since the last time we've been there, but still, is that the New York Rangers can never make a playoff series very easy. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have a little guy named Sidney Crosby, who's pretty damn good, and Jake Gensel, who's been pretty damn good in the playoffs. Oh, and, all right, what's his name? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, Crystal Tang on defense. He's won 3 Stanley Cups. Keep the change. It's going to be tough. And I believe Jason Zucker is back full-time. And who knows how good he could be in the playoffs. Ricardo Rakell's been playing pretty well for the Penguins. It's going to be a weird series. I think the biggest thing for the Rangers is not going to be their first line, it's not going to be their second line, it's going to be their third line. Can the kid line and Lafreniere, Hedl, and Kakko step up? If that line becomes invisible and struggles in the playoffs, the Pittsburgh Penguins have a really good chance of beating the New York Rangers, especially with Sidney Crosby skating around. 84 points in 69 games. Some vintage Sidney Crosby shit. He was on about a 100-point pace, I believe over a 100-point pace. Jake Gensel, pretty damn good in the playoffs, as I mentioned before. Crystal Tang had 68 points. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And they got pretty decent goaltending this year too from Jari and DeSmith. So it's a tough series to predict. Because I'm a Rangers fan, I'm a biased asshole. I'm going to pick the Rangers to win it. What did I say? I said Florida in 7. I said Toronto in 7. I said Boston probably in 7. I believe the Rangers in 7. I think all those series are going the distance. Just tough matchup. The Rangers Penguins can be a fun matchup to watch because it's going to be interesting. If Sidney Crosby pops off and the Rangers offense cannot get going for whatever, which it's had trouble going before. The Rangers have a history of offenses falling, like top offensive players falling asleep in the playoffs, so it would not surprise me if they did. The Pittsburgh Penguins could very well beat the Rangers handily in the playoff series if the young guys fall asleep. I wasn't going to do the second round predictions, but fuck it, just because we're here, I'm going to finish the bracket. Colorado versus St. Louis. I believe Colorado beats St. Louis. Calgary versus Edmonton. Battle of Alberta. I want to give the nod to Edmonton, but I just don't think they have it in them to beat them. I think Calgary wins that series. Florida probably beats Toronto. Boston Rangers will be tight, but I'm a piece of shit, so I'm going to pick the Rangers. Rangers, Florida. That would be a really tough matchup for the Rangers. Colorado versus Calgary. Not Florida. And I believe I'm giving Florida the cup. Why not? If they're averaging 4 goals a game, I'd imagine this would be 7 games. 4 times 7 is what? 20. What's 4 times? 28. It's 4 goals a game. We'll go 31. That's my bracket. Probably incredibly wrong. You guys comment below your thoughts. But yeah, I'm going to go eat breakfast. I'm ready to eat breakfast. You guys comment below. What are your thoughts on my bracket? What are you guys' thoughts on my playoff predictions? Namely, round 1. Don't worry about round 2 or conference finals to the cup finals. That was just for shits and giggles. Let me know what you guys think about my round 1 matchups. Did I break it down good enough? Was I missing anything? Do you disagree with any of my series predictions? You guys let me know in the comments down below. Let's start a conversation. And let's go Rangers. Game 1 of the playoffs in 48 plus. Jesus Christ. 48 plus 10. 58 hours. Let's go. Later, y'all. Happy Sunday. Peace out.